Hello, this presentation is about the Office of the Dean of Students. We encourage you to have your cell phone available in case you wish to scan any of the QR codes in the presentation.
Greetings. My name is Clarence McNeil, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and your Dean of Students. I'm responsible for all of the units within the Dean of Student Suite. That's Community Standards, Disability Access Inclusion Student Services, Supplemental Support Services, Veteran and Military Student Services, and Off-Campus Student Services. I'm also responsible for the Department of Residential Life and all of the units within the Great Dane Union, which is student activities and orientation, intercultural student engagement, and campus center management. Looking forward to seeing you all soon out and about around campus, and we'll be in touch. Go Great Danes!
Hello, everyone. My name is Leandra Harris, and I am the Associate Dean of Students here at UAlbany. This means that I am basically the director of the Office of the Dean of Students. I am also one of the faculty mentors for the World of Leadership LLC. I am an adjunct professor in the Education Policy and Leadership Program, and I serve as the chairperson for the Self-Reliant Scholars Task Force. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Additionally, Pierre Brown serves as our administrative assistant. I have a graduate assistant and 3 student assistants who help me with the overall management of the Office of the Dean of Students. Lastly, in the general Office of the Dean of Students, we have Mike Jeroman, who serves as the ombudsman, which means that he provides resources to students in need. Mike works with our office, but reports directly to the Dean of Students. So what is our mission? The Office of the Dean of Students provides Great Danes and their support network with inclusive, innovative, and impactful support services and education to promote successful scholarship through specialized resources, consultation, and when appropriate, advocacy to help them navigate the university at Albany. So what does that mean? Basically, the Office of the Dean of Students provides consultation to all Great Danes about a variety of different issues. We help our campus community to navigate the resources that might help you with any issue that would potentially hinder your success. We also provide specialized support to unique populations within our community. In the general Office of the Dean of Students, we provide support to our students of concern, who are students who may be experiencing medical, mental, emotional, or financial challenges. We have support for our self-reliant scholars, and these are students who have a history in the foster care system, those who are orphans or may be wards of the court or wards of the state, and also our first-gen scholars. These are students who work with our ombudsman and receive mentorship, resources, and the like to help support them as they go through their years here at UAlbany. You'll hear more about some of the specialized populations that we work with as you meet the rest of my staff. Beyond the general operations of the Office of the Dean of Students, we have 4 functional units. The first functional unit we will review is Community Standards.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to our presentation today. I will specifically be talking about community standards. My name is Craig Brewer, and I am the Assistant Dean.
Hi, everyone. I'm Adriana Bratt. I'm the Student Conduct Coordinator for Community Standards. I provide staff supervisory support for student staff and graduate assistants, and also serve as the Dean of Students Staff Development Representative.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lexi Athens. I'm one of the Student Conduct Coordinators in Community Standards. I provide technical support for the office as well as serve on the Assessment Council for the Dean of Students office.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ken Lozier. I'm a student conduct coordinator with Community Standards. I serve as liaison for off-campus issues and our off-campus partners. I also oversee the Dean of Students chatbot.
Community Standards also is assisted by 2 graduate assistants each year.
A little bit about Community Standards. Community Standards is committed to fostering a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment, conducive to academic and personal growth. Through equitable and consistent policy administration, proactive education, and collaborative interventions, we strive to promote ethical behavior and uphold community standards, whether our students are on or off campus, while supporting the holistic development of all students.
This functional unit resolves student conduct cases and conflict, promotes the standard of the community rights and responsibilities, which is our student code of conduct, and provides guidance concerning off-campus housing options and personal safety issues. Liaises with off-campus constituents to maintain town-gown relations.
More on our Dean of Students functional units. Disability Access and Inclusion Student Services, better known as DoS, it's comprised of a few staff members. So we have Eva Rojas, our Assistant Dean for DoS. We have Kaylee Swan Watson, that's me, our Senior Accessibility Coordinator. We have Courtney Hansen, who is an Accessibility Counselor. And we have 2 vacant, currently searching positions. They are the Accessibility Counselor position number 2 and our Operations Specialist. We also have 2 graduate assistants and 5 student assistants that work for our functional unit. A little bit about DoS. So Disability Access and Inclusion Student Services strives to remove barriers, foster a culture of accessibility, and empower UAlbany students with disabilities to achieve their full academic and social potential through collaboration, education, and advocacy. DoS ensures students with disabilities can use their reasonable accommodations fully and collaborates with faculty and staff to provide accessible and equitable opportunities and resources. This functional unit works with students to ensure they receive and can fully utilize necessary reasonable accommodations, such as their needs for academic accommodations, housing accommodations, and parking needs. We also provide an alternative testing environment with adequate assistive technology and devices. And we liaise with on and off campus resources to provide services to students with disabilities.
Hello, my name is Sally D'Alessandro, and I am the Assistant Dean for Supplemental Support Services. In this role, I am the Campus Homelessness Liaison. I oversee our on-campus food pantry, the Purple Pantry. I oversee our on-campus professional clothing closet for students, Purple Threads, and I administer our campus's student emergency fund. I'm going to flesh those areas out in the next slide. So at this time, I will turn things over to Elda Zanuni.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elda Zanuni. I am the Senior Coordinator for Veteran and Military Student Services. I also assist with Purple Pantry operations, and I am a DOS liaison to the Great Dane Union. I will also talk a little bit about my area on the future slides.
Hello again. I'm Sally D'Alessandro, Assistant Dean of Students for Supplemental Support Services. The purpose of my unit is to assist students who are struggling to meet their basic needs, such as food, shelter, and personal care items. We know that students who are hungry or worried about where they're going to sleep on any given night will probably have difficulty succeeding in a rigorous academic program, may delay graduation, or drop out of college altogether. As a result, the university seeks to level the playing field for students with fewer resources so that they have the same opportunities for academic success, graduation, and all the advantages that come with a college education. The Purple Pantry is located in Campus Center Room 329 and helps to fight food insecurity by providing pantry users with the equivalent of 12 meals every 30 days. Nearly everyone in this room is required to live on campus in our traditional residence halls, which require a meal plan, so you will likely not need to use this service until the second half of your college career, when you may live in an apartment and are responsible for purchasing and cooking your own food. Purple Threads collects donations of new and gently used professional clothing, which is then provided to students for job fairs, class presentations, and job interviews. Professional clothing can be expensive. Students can visit the Purple Threads shop in Campus Center Room 323 to pick out a professional outfit free of charge. The Student Emergency Fund provides eligible students with funding of up to $2,000 to resolve an emergency event that significantly impacts funds that were intended to cover tuition and living expenses. The purpose of this program is to keep under-resourced students from dropping out of school if they have an emergency event. Finally, as the campus's homelessness liaison, I work with students who are housing insecure, meaning they do not have regular, consistent housing while enrolled at the university, or perhaps even when they're in their hometown. The goal is to assist students obtaining any aid, grants, or government assistance for which they're eligible to get them into consistent, safe housing. For more information about these services and your eligibility to use them, please visit our website, which can be viewed on a future slide.
Pell recipients and those who do not have a meal plan that covers more than 50% of their meals per week may be eligible for SNAP benefits. Contact the Office of the Dean of Students for an eligibility questionnaire.
In this slide, I will talk to you about what Veteran and Military Student Services does. Veteran and Military Student Services acknowledges the distinct academic experiences of our veteran and military connected students, and it is dedicated to providing comprehensive support services tailored to their unique needs. Our mission is to promote academic success through specialized resources, individualized consultations, and advocacy when necessary, ensuring their success within the university community. This functional unit offers support, guidance, and advocacy for our veteran and military connected students. It certifies students annually for their GI Bill benefits. It also organizes programs and maintains the Veterans Lounge located in Campus Center, Room 320.
The best place to find out more information about the Office of the Dean of Students is our website. Please use your cell phone camera to scan the QR code. The University at Albany is committed to protecting the rights of free speech, freedom of expression, and freedom of assembly, as expressed in the university's freedom of expression policy.
UAlbany's commitment to free speech. Some items of note regarding students' free speech rights. Students are able to picket and protest on campus without a reservation and without prior institutional approval. Third parties seeking to exercise their rights under the First Amendment must follow the institution's public forum policy. An individual has the right to record in the university spaces that are open to the public. This includes the recording of faculty, staff, or students that are in these public spaces.
So if you come across a student-sponsored or student-led protest, please do not interfere with students who are exercising their constitutionally protected right to protest, especially if they're doing so in a non-disruptive manner. However, if you're concerned for your safety or you're observing threatening behavior or abusive behavior, please call UPD immediately. You can do this by either dialing 518-442-3131 from your cell phone or 911 from a university landline.
As a public institution, the university is required to provide a designated space for any individual or group who would like to come to the university to utilize their free speech rights. We do get requests from several different groups and individuals throughout the year, and the university is prohibited by law from questioning these groups about the nature or content of their free speech. We're talking to you about this because inevitably groups come who we may disagree with. Unfortunately, whether we disagree or not, they are afforded the public space to express their views.
The university, being a public institution supported by New York State tax dollars, has implemented specific regulations regarding the time, place, and manner in which external individuals can use designated public forums on campus to exercise their free speech rights. This policy provides information about blackout days, what property is designated as part of the campus or campuses, the location of the designated public forum space, who is considered a third party or third parties, the university's obligations, and the procedure for securing the designated public forums.
Bias-related crime prevention at UAlbany.
The University of Albany is committed to a campus environment that supports diversity, equity, and inclusion, and will support individuals who report bias or hate incidents. A bias act is conduct that adversely and unfairly targets an individual or group based on the social identity categories of national origin, ethnicity, race, age, religion, gender, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, veteran status, color, creed, marital status, and any combination of these characteristics or any other group protected by law. The perpetrators may be known or unknown. The act may be verbal, written, or physical and occur on a UAlbany campus or within an area that affects the campus community. Activities protected by the First Amendment will not constitute bias acts. And what is a hate crime? A person commits a hate crime when he or she commits a specified criminal offense and either intentionally commits the act or intentionally selects the person against whom the offense is committed in whole or in substantial part because of a belief or perception regarding the race, color, national origin, ancestry, gender, religion, religious practice, age, disability, or sexual orientation of a person, regardless of whether the belief or perception is correct.
The University of Albany is required to annually report campus crime statistics to the U.S. Department of Education. More information on this can be found on the U.S. Department of Education's website. You can also find updated information on campus crime statistics specifically for UAlbany on the UAlbany website. The Office of Diversity and Inclusion and the Office of the Title IX Coordinator will send emails regarding bias-related incidents, hate crimes, and non-discrimination throughout the academic year.
Hello, I'm going over reporting a bias-related crime with you. The university has created a bias incident response team, also known as the BIRT, charged with receiving and coordinating the university's response to reported bias incidences and issuing recommendations to the appropriate university officials. To submit a report, you can visit the link seen on the slide, or you can find the form on the Office of Diversity and Inclusion webpage under the Bias Incident Response tab, which also includes more information regarding bias-related crimes. Alternatively, you can use the QR code seen on the slide as well. Bias-related crimes may also be reported to the University Police Department or to residential life staff, such as a resident assistant, RA, housing manager, HM, residence director, RD, apartment coordinator, AC, or the assistant director for your living area.
We encourage you to assist your fellow Great Danes. If ever there's an emergency, please contact UPD immediately at 518-442-3131. Also on the screen, we have the quad office numbers for the various quads where you might live. Please take note of these phone numbers. Lastly, please know that the university has a Good Samaritan policy that you can find by scanning the QR code. Basically, what it says is that if someone is in immediate need of medical attention, anyone who calls for help and anyone who receives emergency medical care is not subject to disciplinary sanctions for any violations related to alcohol or drugs. This policy applies to students and student organizations and pertains to emergencies on and off campus. Please take care of yourselves and one another. And with that, you've reached the end of our presentation. You can find us in Campus Center 137. You can call us at 518-442-5501. You can email us at dos@albany.edu, or you can find us on our website, as I mentioned before. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.